Jets, Jets. What is going on, Jets fans? Jets Ward back with you, going on an impromptu live stream. So I just wanted to join you guys and talk about what I think how the Jets have been doing in the NFL draft. I want to talk about their players and everything, go over, talk about things I liked, things I didn't like. Not much that I don't like. I honestly think that Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn are doing an amazing job as of now with this draft, and I've been very, very happy. And just going over some of the things I said in last night's live stream based on the first round, I honestly think that I said you went with a tackle, you have to go with offense in the second and third round. And names that I mentioned Mason Taylor. I mentioned Trey Harris, who went in the second round. I mentioned all these different guys. And honestly, I've been very happy with how the Jets have been doing. And just to go over some of the picks tonight with you guys that I really, really liked. Jamari Caldwell went early tonight. He went in the third round, I believe. He went very early. I was shocked about that one. I'm happy for him because he's a great player. But he's somebody I thought was going to be a fourth rounder. Savion Williams went. I really thought he was going to fall to the Jets, and the Jets could have taken him. Honestly, there were a lot of players that fell. Shedeur Sanders is still not drafted yet. How do you go through the Steelers picks, the Browns, the Raiders, who had two back-to-back picks to end this third round? Like, Shedeur Sanders is still a free agent. And in all honesty, I didn't want Shedeur Sanders in the first or second round. I didn't think the Jets should go quarterback early. If he's there for the Jets in the fourth round, fifth round, I don't think he's making it past the fourth round. If he's there for the Jets in the fourth round, do you take him? I think the Jets still have a little bit too many issues to deal with at this point. But man, that could be an interesting choice for the Jets. I end up thinking he goes to Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh had as a fourth round pick. I think they end up taking Shedeur if he falls there, because now quarterbacks are which teams need quarterbacks? The Raiders, they got Geno, so they might be comfortable with him for a year. How about Pittsburgh? Definitely needs one. And if they don't take him, then what's wrong? Jalen Milroe went to the Seahawks, which was a shocker. I didn't think he was going to fall that far. Tyler Shuck went to the Browns, which was an interesting one for me as well. Oh, no, he went to the Saints, I believe, which was an interesting one. This draft has been so weird, honestly. But getting into one of the main things that I wanted to talk about with you guys tonight, and I'm showing you guys the Jets picks because they're the ones I want to focus on too, just to give my reactions to them, what you guys think. And other players that you see. Sharon Revel ended up going to the Cowboys, which I thought was an awesome pick for them. If he's healthy, he's one of the best cornerbacks in this draft. Trey Amos fell to like the late second round. I'm shocked at how far he fell. There were some players that I was shocked that are still around. Alec Ayomanar, the receiver, is still there. Jalen Royal is still available. How are these receivers falling? And I'm going to say it again. How do the Ravens keep getting away with getting all these monster defensive players? They don't trade up or anything. They just fall to them. First round, they got Malachi Starks, the safety, who's a perfect Raven pick for them. They always get good defensive backs. And now they got Mike Green. Like, come on now. How do these Ravens keep getting so lucky with these players falling to them? It is crazy to me to see this keep happening. The Browns have been doing amazing, in my opinion. I love their draft so far. They've gotten their starting defensive tackle. They got a running back, Quinshon Judkins, who I really like. They got Tyler Shuck, quarterback of the future. They're doing an amazing, amazing job. And they got a linebacker as well who's really solid. Also, want to mention Chris Paul Jr. is still out there. He hasn't been picked yet, and that's a shocker to me from Ole Miss. I think he is probably the third, fourth best linebacker in this draft. I thought he would have been gone in the second or third. But man, some of these players, Deion Walker, defensive tackle, is still there. I would love to see the Jets go after him later in the draft. There's still so many awesome players available. And that's why I find this draft just to be so fun, because you never know what's going to happen. And getting into the Jets picks, like I said last night, giving Armand Membu first pick, love it. You solidified the offensive line. But then I said in last night's stream, you have to go weapons. I would have been happy with Trey Harris. I would have been happy with Mason Taylor, Harold Fainin, who ended up going in the third round to the Browns as well. Browns are just killing it so far, in my opinion. Giants are doing well too. There's a lot of teams. Patriots are drafting well as well. A lot of these teams are doing pretty well. Steelers, I'm concerned about. Vikings only had Donovan Jackson. I know they had a third round pick as well. But some of the winners so far, in my opinion, are definitely the Browns. They are killing it with some of these picks. And I'm confident that Browns fans are very, very happy at this point. But other teams too, like with the Jets, Armand Membu. Like I said, I love the pick. Fits the offense so well. Then you need to fit other needs. You need a tight end. You need receiver help. And what did the Jets do in the second round? They did exactly what the Jets needed to do. They got tight end Mason Taylor, and I love this pick. He's one of the best route runners as tight ends. He was probably my fourth ranked tight end because I had Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, then I had Harold Fainin, and then I had Mason Taylor. But if you're going with the offense to fit the style of game we're going to be playing, Harold Fainin, I don't think fit our offense because he wasn't a blocker. He was more of just a receiving threat from Bowling Green. Mason Taylor is a willing blocker and a great receiver. Has good speed, great hands, can run really good routes. In all honesty, I'm really, really happy with Mason Taylor. And this has been an A-plus draft up to this point for my Jets and our Jets. And even if you're not a Jets fan, you can't argue. The Jets have been doing some good things. And for all those people, I have 16 of you guys in the Jets Ward with me right now. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you guys. I'm just jumping on, doing a short stream tonight, going over some of the reactions that I have from some of these picks. But I got Mason Taylor. We got him at pick 42. The Jets haven't been moving at all. They've been sticking and picking, which I'm all right with. Maybe tomorrow they'll try to stick or move back a little bit. They have a 4th round pick, 2 5th rounds, and 2 6th rounds. Maybe try to trade back into the 7th. Maybe try to trade back and get more picks because there's still a ton of amazing players left. Some really good receivers still left too. Tez Johnson's still available. I love Tez Johnson, as you guys know. There's good interior offensive linemen left. There's good defensive tackles left. Deion Walker, I think, could be a monster. The injury concern is pretty bad, and that's probably why he didn't get picked. Oh, also, Falcons. Their defense is crazy. They got Will Johnson as well, cornerback. So 2 solid edge rushers, James Pierce and Jalen Walker, and then they got the best cornerback in the draft, in a lot of people's opinion, Will Johnson, who fell because of an injury. If he's healthy, that defense is going to be stacked. Ulbrich is going to be firing on all cylinders with that team, with that defense. Falcons defense is a scary one to watch out for. So be careful, be aware of that. But we were watching these. I'm looking at these picks, and I'm still in DC. We got back very late tonight, so sorry for the late stream. Buffalo Jets fan, what up, dude? How are you loving the Jets draft so far? It's good to have you, buddy. It's good to see you, man. I'm hoping you're liking the draft just as much as I am. It's been good so far. I think our Jets are in the right hands with Darren Muji and AG. I'm loving it so far. Hitting 2 big needs, and man, I think we're doing the right things, and we're doing what the Jets need. 2 biggest needs that we had going into this were tight end and offensive tackle, right tackle. Get the best right tackle in the draft, and got in my opinion, the 3rd or 4th best tight end. Mason Taylor, who his father played for the Jets, Jason Taylor, if you guys remember, for that short stint he had. Great leader. He's got great work ethic. This kid can be a monster. And a lot of Jets fans love this kid. And if the Jets didn't go tight end in the first round, I honestly think that they wanted a tight end in the second round. And this was the guy that we wanted. It was either Harold Fanning, Gunnar Helm, or Elijah Arroyo. Terrence Ferguson was one of them as well that a lot of Jets fans wanted. But Mason Taylor just seems like the Jets were really interested in him. And I feel like he fits the offense, and he can become a better blocker. He is a willing blocker, which is something that we want. We wanted aggression, we wanted winners, and we wanted players who are coachable, teachable. And I think that's a great thing that I love about AG is he says we're going to coach them. We're going to teach. That's what we didn't get in our last regime, in my opinion. And that's what I love so far. We're hitting the things that we need. Now, it has been an A+ so far. But then we got to the third round for the Jets, and this one was the one I was confused about. I'm not going to lie. Azaire Thomas, I think I messed that one up, but he is the cornerback from Florida State. He's 6'1", 197 pounds. We got him at pick 73. And in all honesty, I was shocked. I didn't think we'd go cornerback. I knew there were rumors about Jedi Barron, but honestly, I thought if you wanted to go cornerback, get later. Xavier Watts was still on the board at this point. If you wanted a safety, you could have gone filled that need. There were other players you could have gone. RJ Mickens is still available. Receiver, I thought, was a much bigger need. Jalen Noel was at this point. We could have got him. But when the Jets drafted him, my first reaction was confusion. But then I started looking a little bit more into him. And honestly, his NFL comp was Jalen Ramsey. And a lot of analysts thought this guy was going to go a lot higher. Struggles to tackle. That was one of his biggest concerns, tackling. But he was much better than last year, which I really, really liked. And apparently he's just a press man guy who can cover man-to-man, is tough as nails, gets that initial jab on you and knocks receivers off their routes, which I really, really love. And what I'm thinking they're going to do, I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up being cornerback too and Brandon Stevens gets bumped to safety. Now, do you want to pay a safety that much money that we're paying Stevens? Not likely, but you could do that. You can move him there because he's played it before, and then have him and Sauce Gardner as your corners. Honestly, this guy fits the Jets defense perfectly. No, I didn't like the move originally, but looking at it now, it could definitely work. And AG and Steve Wilks were defensive backs in our league or in the NFL. If they know anything about defensive back, or if anybody knows anything about defensive backs, it's those two. And I trust those guys. And honestly, I think they're going to be so good in the future. And I think I was watching a little bit of Ryan's Green Beans and Matt O'Leary's stream earlier when Dom C and Jeremy came on to talk about this guy. This is definitely an AG pick. This is somebody for the future. And I love it because if Brandon Stevens doesn't work out, or if they do bump him to safety, this guy can be your solid number 2 starter for years to come. With Sauce, him, Andre Cisco, if he plays well, give him another contract. He's young still. Brandon Stevens still young. That could be a functioning defensive backcourt, and I really like that. So Thomas is a very interesting one. I would give the Jets a A-, B+ at this point because of this pick. I really, really think that we have more pressing needs. Defensive tackle is still a big one, and I don't think Ty Robinson's still there for defensive tackle, but I thought they would have attacked that one higher. I'm shocked Jamari Caldwell fell or got picked so early. Deion Walker, I really, really, really would love. Like, the next couple of days, This is what I want the Jets to do. We need a receiver. If you go Tez Johnson, I'd be really happy. Somebody in the slot gets open. Not the biggest receiver, but gets open. Jalen Royal is still there. Ayomanere, Alec Ayomanere. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, but he's a big receiver and a fast one who I'm shocked is still available. He could be solid. I think the Jets need to do this for the next couple of picks. 4th round, you got to get a receiver. Get more help for Justin Fields. Honestly, more help for Justin Fields. Get him a receiver. And then in the next couple of rounds, Jared Ivey, get me a John Franklin Myers type of player because I think he can stay on edge. He can stand up in the 2-point stance or get down in the 3-point stance, and you can move him down on the interior of the defensive line and keep him on the outside. He's big, he's powerful, he's quick. Somebody who I think could be an amazing Jet player, and I'm on the Jared Ivey train. I think he could be amazing. Or what you do is you go back-to-back at Ole Miss players. You go Chris Paul Jr. at linebacker, solidify our linebacking core, which I think is really, really good. Bring him in, put him next to Jamie Sherwood and Quincy Williams as our weak side linebacker. Then you go Jared Ivey in the 5th round, and with our 5th round pick, you go Isaiah Bond, receiver. I think Isaiah Bond is so underrated, and I think could come in and be an impact player for the New York Jets. Honestly. And I'm still thinking, do the Jets make trades? Do we get rid of any players? Is anybody interested in some of the guys we have? Because we have some players that I think the Jets are willing to part with. I think they're still on the table about trading Lazard, even though they got his money down. So teams might be more willing to trade a late-round pick for him. Does somebody like Jeff Ulbrich come after Michael Clemens, who's for some reason still on this team? That could be something interesting. But in all honesty, some of these guys that have been drafted or that are still on the board are shocking. I can't believe some of the available talent still. And I'm going to look some up because this is crazy to me with how many players are available. Shedeur Sanders, I keep going back to him. It's crazy that he's still available. So let's go NFL draft round pick, not first round picks. Picks by round. So give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So going through the whole 2nd round, because I think this one is a good one for you guys to see, because just seeing some of the available players. Let's see. So Carson Schweitzer went first pick overall in the 2nd round to the Browns. I thought that was a great pick for them. I thought that was a good one. Who else? The next pick after that was Jaden Higgins. He went really quick to the Texans. Great pick. The Seahawks traded up for Nickam and Worry, which was awesome. Quinshon Judkins. I think the Patriots got a steal with Trayvon Henderson, running back of the future. Now they got a good one. Luther Burden to the Bears. That was a shocking one to me because they've got solid receivers over there already. Luther Burden can come in and be a solid slot. You have Rome Odunze on the outside, and you have I can't think of his Moore on the other side. That could be a really formidable offense, especially if they fix that offensive line. They've done the interior. Get Caleb Williams some tackles, and I think that could be really solid for him. Tyler Shuck to the Saints. I was shocked. I thought they were going to Sanders. Jets, I love the Mason Taylor pick. Alfred Collins, great pick by the Niners. Great steal by them. I think he's going to be really good on that Robert Saleh defensive line. I really like that one. Terrence Ferguson went quick to the Rams. That was a great pick. Will Johnson ended up going to the Cardinals. I thought he went to the Falcons. No, Will Johnson went to the Cardinals. That's an awesome pick. I want to shout out the Bengals here because the Bengals got somebody who I was really high on as well in the second round, Demetrius Knight, linebacker from South Carolina. That kid's a monster. That kid's going to be really good, and I think he can cover. He can blitz. He can do anything in the middle of the defensive in the linebacking core. He is a day one starter for that Bengals defense who needed starters on the defense. That kid's going to be really, really good, and I'm really excited to see how he does for the Bengals. That was a great pick by them. Elijah Arroyo going to the Seahawks. Nick Scorton going to the Panthers. Like, all of these players that have been going have been really good. Freaking Chargers got Trey Harris. That was a great move by them. If anybody could unleash Trey Harris and get him to run crisper routes and just utilize his strengths, it's going to be Harbaugh. It's going to be Harbaugh. And I think that was great for them. But just going into this, guys, it's like there's still so many available players. Like, going to the best available. Shedeur Sanders is up there. Jalen Royals, wide receiver from Utah State, who is a great player. Joshua Farmer. If the Jets ended up going to Joshua Farmer at defensive tackle, I'd be very happy. That is a Dom C guy as well, just like Thomas is. And I think that would be amazing. Honestly, I think that could be really, really good for them, for the Jets. But Farmer is there. Who else? We got Cam Scatterbo. Do the Jets draft Cam Scatterbo? No. I'm shocked he's still there, though. Gunnar Helm is going to get picked up really quick on day 3, fourth round. I think he's going to go quick. Ty Robinson, I think, is going to go really quick. Marcus Mbow, I'm shocked is still there. Torrey Horton, going to go good. Will Howard, he's a shocking one to me. I don't know where he falls. I think he ends up going in the 5th, honestly. Kyle McCord, I think, is going to go tomorrow in the 4th. Will Howard, I think, goes to the 5th. Riley Leonard, I think, goes higher. Oh, how – I'm going to bring this up again. And please, somebody in the chat, please explain this to me. Dillon Gabriel. I don't know much about him as quarterback. I didn't think of him as being one of the best. I saw him as like a day 3 pick. 4th, 5th round quarterback. He went in the 3rd, and he went before Shedeur. Like, what is going on in this quarterback class? 2 that went in the 1st, 1 that went in the 2nd, 1 that went in the 3rd, and Shedeur Sanders is still not on a team. I'm getting kind of nervous for him. Now, I see I had Buffalo Jets fan comment before, dude, do you think the Jets end up taking Shedeur if he falls to the 4th round? Like, he's going to be falling to the 4th round. Do you think the Jets could honestly take him in the 4th round? And that's a question for all of you guys too. Do you think the Jets should take Shedeur? Honestly, I wouldn't. I'd still prefer Kyle McCord later or a Will Howard later, but it's really intriguing at this point, because you're not going to be paying him this monster contract as a 4th round pick. And I'm just interested to see where he goes. I think Steelers still have a chance to get him, but for him to fall to the 4th round is mind-blowing to me. Like, honestly, I can't believe he's still out there. Who else? RJ Mickens is definitely going to be a 4th round pick tomorrow. Quinn Ewers is still there too. Chris Paul Jr. There's some really good players still available. Cameron Williams, Danny Stutzman. I know Green Bean said that he really liked him. Jalen Reed, I really love. JJ Pegues, defensive tackle from Ole Miss, who's very underrated. Deion Walker. He should have been a 2nd round pick, in my opinion. Jackson Hawes is a favorite. Does he get picked? I don't think so now. Ashul Tootin, I think he's going to go tomorrow. Q Robinson. Isaiah Bond is going to be good. He really is. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Are there any players that you really liked that got picked? Are you shocked about any players going? For me, I'm shocked the Seahawks went a quarterback. I didn't think they would go quarterback after signing Darnold to that monster contract, and he's not that old either. Jalen Milroe, I think, could be great for them. Solid backup to learn behind Darnold for a couple of years. But I was shocked that they went for him. Shocked he fell that far too, honestly. But there's still so many awesome players in this draft. And I'm really, really happy about how the Jets are doing. The more I'm talking about that Thomas pick, the more I'm liking it because of the future that it could bring for that defense. And honestly, if you move Stevens to safety, he's played it before and was really good and was solid at it. Our defensive backs core could be really good. Honestly, I'm seeing the vision and I'm really, really liking it. I don't know, man. This draft has just been wild so far. And sorry that I'm talking quieter too. Did a lot of yelling. We were running around a lot in DC today. Now I don't want to wake the kids up in the hotel either. But man, this draft has just been wild so far. And I'm really loving it. The Jets have been doing everything that I could ask for. They gave me my tackle. They gave me my tight end that I really like. Get me a defensive tackle, a linebacker. If Chris Paul Jr. comes to the Jets, I've mocked him to the Jets. The two players that I really, really want now, they're both on defense. I know we need a receiver, but the two players that I would love, both on Ole Miss, give me Chris Paul Jr. and get me Jared Ivey. I would love each of those players on the Jets. I think they would both bring tenacity and fierceness to that team. If you bring in RJ Mickens, I would like that because of the family heritage and just because the kid's a baller and safety's a need unless we move Stevens there. Receivers, I don't know. Do you go Jalen Royals? I don't know too much about him. I think he'd be interesting, though. Honestly, I'm loving, like I keep saying, I love what the Jets are doing right now. AG and Muji have been doing phenomenal, but we still have a lot of needs. And if the Jets don't end up getting a receiver, let's say they do get a bigger receiver. Let's say they do get a taller guy, like a Ja'Cory Brooks or somebody like that later in the 6th round. Could that cause Elijah Moore to come back? He's still a free agent and he still fits this team. He could be a solid slot foundational piece. He's only 25. I understand people's hatred towards him on the Jets because he quit on us on a winning streak. I get that. But he did compliment Garrett Wilson a lot. And it is a new regime. So they're not going to take anything that they saw from the old regime. I think they'd make their own opinions. And I think we started winning. I think he'd be really happy too. There's so much left. Tomorrow's going to be even more wild. I said it today too, or last night in my stream. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. It was a lot of fun. I was talking about all these different picks. A lot of people were jumping in and talking. I love hearing from all of you guys. So I appreciate we got 35 people in here, which is awesome. I think this is the most I've ever had in a live stream. So I appreciate all you guys and thank you so much. I know it's late too. It's like 12:40. So I appreciate you guys just staying up and hanging out. Only going to be on for a couple more minutes. We got to get up early tomorrow, leaving DC tomorrow, heading back home, which will be fun. I'm excited to see how the draft goes as well. I'll be having it on my phone, making comments and everything. But I just love being here with you guys. This is so great. I get to vent my frustrations or show my love for a lot of the things the Jets are doing. And I'm just loving the draft so far. It's been crazy. And I think it's going to get even more crazy tomorrow. I said it last night. There were going to be tons of trades. And right off the bat, more trades were happening left and right in the 2nd round, which was really, really cool. I think tomorrow's going to be wild as well. I think the Jets are going to, with the 4th round, for the 4th round pick, I think they might trade back and accrue more picks, try to get a 7th, because I think this team, this new regime, is going to try to build through draft picks. And what I mean by that is they're going to try to hit on later round picks. Our old regime, I don't think I ever remember one 7th round pick that Joe Douglas had. I don't think I've ever seen him make a 7th round pick. Did he? Oh yeah, we had the last pick in the draft one year, and then ended up cutting the kid in in the summer in the preseason. So maybe one in Joe Douglas's tenure, but I think with this new regime and how AG was a scout, how Darren Muji's been in the NFL for a long, long time doing this, working with top GMs, how we have Rick Spielman in the building as well to help out. I think we're going to do what we can to try to acquire more picks in the later round. That's what I would do. And like I said, my top targets tomorrow would be Jalen Royals. No, you know what? My top picks, I have 3 players that I really want to target and that I think could make a big impact on the Jets from day one. Jared Ivey, number 1. I've been preaching his name. I really think he's going to be great. He's not going to be a 3-down guy right off the bat, but he can turn into one, and his run stuffing ability and just power rush ability will come in handy on this defense. I really think so. I think the kid's going to be a monster. Very underrated as an edge rusher and just a fierce presence on the defense. He's a weapon on that defensive line. I think he can be great. I think another one, Chris Paul Jr., very underrated linebacker, can be awesome, fast. He's fast, can cover, and will hit you like a truck. I think he should be a target. 2 Ole Miss guys so far. So Jared Ivey and Chris Paul Jr. And then the last guy, Isaiah Bond. Guy's fast. And I feel like all of the Texas receivers are quick. This kid doesn't drop passes. He's got decent hands, is a solid route runner, and is overall just a really good player. And I think you get him and maybe Ja'Cory Brooks later in the 6th too, or in the 7th. Or if you don't pick a safety, like RJ Mickens, I would love to see. If you don't pick him, one player, and I don't know if it's going to be as popular, Shiloh Sanders. I think Shiloh Sanders is going to be a solid safety, and he's a strong safety. Somebody who he always has a nose for the ball, is always around, and I honestly think he could really, really work in this Jets defense. The only thing that derailed him is injuries. And honestly, if he can stay healthy, I think he can be really good. And Desmond Watson, too. I really love Desmond Watson. He's a position of need at defensive tackle. Deion Walker, I really, really love, too. God, I'm just rambling off players that I'm like, how are they still available? It's crazy. Deion Walker, I would have thought would have been gone by now. Honestly, I know he didn't have the greatest season last year, but he's been a beast in Kentucky for a while. He's like 6'6", and one of the largest defensive tackles at 6'8", maybe, and runs so fast. So much power, so much speed. Can complement Quinnen Williams so much. Honestly. He's available. Do you go another interior offensive lineman, Seth McLaughlin from Ohio State, who played center and guard, could be a great pipeline player for you guys down the road, especially if John Simpson doesn't come back. That could be a good move for you because I think he can turn into a solid player later down the road and just be a pipeline for you. Defensive tackle, there's so many good freaking players, guys. It's crazy. And I'm loving it. This draft, these are the drafts that I find to be the most exciting. And the reasoning for it is you can have a draft that's just top heavy. And then everything after is just like, oh, well. This draft is deep. Like if you hit on in the first round, that's great. It's awesome that you can do that. A lot of teams do. A lot of teams wet the bed. But this is the type of draft that you want to hit in the later rounds because there's just so much talent. The defensive tackle class, the edge class, the receiver class, the tight end class, the offensive line class, they are so deep. There's not much difference between a lot of these players. And in all honesty, if you pick the right one that fits your system, any of these can be starters in your league, in your team. Any of these, as long as they work hard and do what they're supposed to do and are put in the right situations, and big thing, coached up, because a lot of the Jets players under the Saleh years were not coached up. I will give it to our defense, our linebackers, and our cornerbacks and safeties. They were good, but everything else, very undisciplined. We are a very big penalized team, one of the most penalized teams in the NFL under the Saleh regime, which we never thought, because he preached accountability. There was never accountability. Under Aaron Glenn, I think you're going to see one of the most undisciplined, or one of the most disciplined teams in the NFL. I don't think they're going to be make mistakes. I think if they do, you will see AG on the sideline just ripping into players, which I think needs to happen. You need a coach that shows that they care and that they are willing to make you feel uncomfortable, because you need to be put in positions to succeed. You need to be coached. You need to be taught. And you need to be accountable if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I think all these coaches are going to do that for this team. And I'm really excited for the Jets. But again, I want to shout out the other teams too. Giants, I think you've been killing it, honestly, in this draft. I think you've been doing so well. I love the Packers draft. Matthew Golden in the first round was awesome. And Savion Williams too. You got two receivers that I think are going to be really good. And I made a video about Savion Williams. He's a kick returner, punt returner. You can have him as a wildcat quarterback because he played quarterback in high school. He's a gadget type player, but he's basically a bigger version of Brad Smith. And Jets fans know Brad Smith as the one guy who we drafted him as a quarterback. It didn't work out. Turned him into a kick returner, a punt returner, and he was one of the best in the league. Nobody could catch him. Didn't really get sent out as for passes, but for kick returns and punt returns, he won us a ton of games. And it's because of just that athleticism. Savion Williams is a bigger, stronger Brad Smith and has better hands, better jump ball ability. Just the guy's amazing. The Packers got him, and that's a steal. I think they two receivers, solid receivers that they got. I think Will Johnson falling to the Cardinals was amazing. I think they got a great cornerback who's, when healthy, is a number one cornerback. But honestly, it's just so like Browns. I think the Browns have had the best draft so far. Browns have been dominating. They've been getting all their players that they need and hitting positions of need as well. But guys, I'm gonna leave it here. I think I'm glad I got to talk with you guys and just let you know how I'm feeling about this draft so far. I'm loving what my Jets are doing. I'm loving what teams are doing. People are hitting, and people are getting some good players, and there's still a ton of great players left. Honestly, be excited because there's so many great players left, and I'm just excited to see what the Jets do tomorrow. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I might try to go live again tomorrow after I get home. It probably won't work because it's going to be a long bus ride home. We ain't getting back to probably like 10:30 to the school, and then it'll be another 45 minutes for me to drive home. So we'll see. I really love going live with you guys. If anything, I'll make a reaction video. But I just wanted to come on here and jump in the Jets ward with you guys and just talk. It's always good hearing from you guys, and I love that you guys joined in. Buffalo Jets fan, it was great to see you in here. I love it, and I hope you're enjoying the Jets, how the Jets are doing in this draft as well. And so all of you guys, I hope all of you guys are enjoying the draft so far. I hope that your teams are doing what you want them to do, honestly, because this place is a safe place for you. I'm always welcoming you into the Jets ward, and I'm never going to bash your team. I'm never going to say any pick was a disaster or is a disaster because we don't know. People could say, oh, why did we take, for example, the Saints. Why did we take Tyler Shough? He's 27, injured a decent amount. But he could end up being one of the best quarterbacks in this draft. And thank you, Mitch, for bringing this up. You think Shedeur is going undrafted. He was looked at by a lot of people as being the second best quarterback in this draft. And for him to have like Dylan Gabriel go before him, to have Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart. We knew Cam Ward and Jackson Dart most likely would have gone before him. But to have Tyler Shough, Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers is still out there too, which I'm shocked he's fallen this far. I thought the Rams might have taken a chance on him. I don't think Shedeur goes undrafted, but if he does, it would blow my mind. Honestly, I think he's just got too much talent. And he throws a good ball. He doesn't have the best arm, but he's got a decent arm and he's probably one of the more accurate quarterbacks in this league or in this draft class. The only problem I do see, and a lot of analysts have said it too, he holds onto the ball way too damn long. So is there a processing issue? Could be. But if you get with a good offensive coordinator and a good quarterbacks coach, that can be worked out. His footwork is good. His mobility in the pocket is solid. He's not the quickest guy, but he can get out of tough situations and make decent throws. And a good comment as well. NFL teams are seeing him as a backup skill-wise. And on top of that, his attitude could ruin a locker room. Those rumors about his attitude that were coming out of the draft or coming out of the combine, they are showing that they were completely accurate. A lot of people said that was smoke, that they liked the confidence. Man, a lot of teams were put off by him. And the backup skill-wise, there's a lot of teams in this league I think he could start for. Let's see. Where would he start? There's later down the road he could possibly start. I think he could start for the Giants. I don't trust Russell Wilson. And Jameis Winston, I love how many touchdowns he scores, but you're going to throw just as many interceptions, if not more. I think he could start in New York. I thought he could have started for the Saints. Falcons right now. I don't know. Penix? I like Penix. Michael Penix for the Falcons, I think, is going to be good. Kirk Cousins, I'm wondering what they're going to do with him. They're not going to pay that much money for a backup. Could he go back to the Vikings? I think he could. Pittsburgh makes a lot of sense. I don't think Rodgers signs with the Steelers. I don't think they want him. Based on how much they're making him wait, or he's making them wait on him, I think he might end up retiring and then maybe sign with the team halfway through the year to play like hero ball if they were doing well. But man, Giants would be the only team really that I could see. There's one team I could see drafting him. And let me know what you guys think down in the chat as well. Dallas Cowboys. His dad played for Dallas. Jerry Jones is known to make the splashy moves. But splashier than drafting Deion's son. Deion played for you. Yet there was talks about him coaching your team. So if your coach right now is just a lame duck coach, you fire after a year, you draft Deion. If you draft Shedeur, that's an easy in for Deion to be your coach. Deion said he wants to coach his son. So could that be Cowboys' plan? Could the Steelers still try to trade up and get him? If the Steelers haven't traded up now for him and have passed on him, I don't think the Steelers had that many picks in the second and third round, if they had any. But if the Steelers haven't tried to trade up in the second or third or are not looking at him as that good, that's a concern. Even though Mike Tomlin hasn't had that great of success with drafting quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders was looked at as a top prospect in the quarterback position in this draft. And if the Steelers and all these QB needy teams are passing on him, that's scary. And it might be because of his attitude. I'm worried. I was talking to one of my buddies when the draft was going on, and I was confident that Shore was going to go the first pick overall in the second round to the Browns. And when he didn't, my buddy and I were talking back and forth. And he said, "Do you think the Jets are taking Shedeur?" And I said, "I hope not. I really don't. I don't. Later rounds, I would be okay with a QB, but Shedeur, I think, just brings way too much publicity, and I don't think AG wants that. Give me Kyle McCord, Riley Leonard, or Will Howard, and I'd be happy because I think those quarterbacks they won't bring a lot of publicity to you, but have the skill sets to be successful in this offense. So don't be shocked if Kyle McCord is our 4th round pick tomorrow. But like I said before, what I think the Jets need to do, they need to go with Chris Paul Jr. from Ole Miss. I think if he's still there, I think he could be really good. Jared Ivey, I love. I think he can be really good. Get a receiver. Jalen Royals, I'm shocked is still there. Just based on everybody's ranking of him. And maybe a Kyle McCord later down in the draft. Mitch, thank you again for the chat. Low on Riley Leonard compared to Howard and McCord. Riley Leonard's intriguing. He's not the most accurate quarterback in this draft. He's very inaccurate. I'll be honest. He's very inaccurate, but the athletic ability that he has, look what he did with Notre Dame this year. He played good for them and made the throws when he needed to. I don't need Riley Leonard to come out and start right away. In all honesty, I'm very high on Justin Fields and think now that he has the best offensive line that he's ever played behind for the Jets. He's got the best ever offensive line that he's ever played behind. A young, solid core. He's got a reliable tight end, hopefully, in Mason Taylor now. Get him another receiver. Get him whatever he needs to make him successful. And that's what I think that's why I think I'm so happy with how the Jets are doing right now, because they're building around Justin Fields. And you're probably like, how are they building around him with taking a cornerback in round 3? I'd argue that defense can help out a quarterback just as much, turn the ball over. And we're going to work on with Sauce Gardner and these new guys to make turnovers, because that's just as helpful for a quarterback to get back on the field, because it tires out the opposing defense so quickly. And with Justin Fields' legs and amount of power he has in his arm, that could be so helpful for this offense. And I think Justin Fields will light it up this year. Will he be a top 5 quarterback? No. Will he be a top 10? Maybe. I think he's going to run for a ton of yards. I think he's going to make plays, make good throws. He's got a connection with Garrett Wilson already and Jeremy Ruckert, but I don't think Jeremy Ruckert's going to start. I think he might be our blocking tight end. But with all of the offensive weapons that the Jets have, I honestly think Justin Fields can be awesome. And to go off of your point too, Mitch, and thank you again for the comment, I do like Howard and McCord a lot better than Riley Leonard and would be happier if we took them. But if you're telling me Riley Leonard is there in the 6th round, which I don't think McCord or Will Howard is going to be there, I'd take a chance on him. I really would. Or if the Jets trade back in the 7th round, there's a quarterback from Florida State, DJ. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, Ugalele. I don't remember what it is. I think he's so underrated too. He's a bigger quarterback. He's stoic, strong arm, accurate. I think he could be good as a backup down the road. I don't think this team has faith in Jordan Travis anymore. DJ would be a 7th round waiver. That's what I would think too. I agree with that. I think he ends up going undrafted, because I made an undrafted players video that I think the Jets should take a shot on. Check that one out. I think that was a good one. There's a lot of players that I talked about that I think can be really good as undrafted prospects. DJ was one of them. I think he's just going to be good. I think he's going to be solid. Desmond Watson's a concern. I think I love the size that he has, and I think he's one of my favorites. I think he ends up going to the 6th or 7th, but you can't teach that size. And you put him next to a Quinnen Williams, or where I think he could go to Kansas City, put him next to a Chris Jones. That could open up so much for that defensive line as well. Deion Walker is still there. I love Deion Walker. I think he could be an amazing player as long as he's healthy. There's just, like I said, there's just so many good players left in the draft. Honestly, there's so many available players that are still there. I think we're going to get some big shocks tomorrow. There might be players that we think are going to go undrafted that go in the 5th round based on how this draft is looking so far. It's been so hit or miss with some of these players. Like, I didn't expect Jamari Caldwell to go in the 3rd round. I expected him to be a 4th round pick. But Jamari Caldwell was a player I love, and I would have been very happy if the Jets got him. But he went much higher than I thought he was going to. But then there are also players that dropped completely, like Shedeur Sanders. And if he were to go undrafted, I'd be completely shocked. RJ Mickens, I think, could definitely be a 4th round pick tomorrow too. Watts. I thought Watts from Notre Dame fell into the 2nd round or fell into the 3rd round. I thought that was a big drop for him, and I don't know why. I thought he was a 2nd round talent, a top 2nd round talent. Donovan Edwards could be very interesting. Like I said, there's so many players that are still available that I'm willing to take shots on. Jared Ivey, I've been preaching his name. I want that guy on this team. He is a JFM 2.0, just a little bit stronger. And he's just a leader on that defense. All the Ole Miss guys. Give me Chris Paul Jr. and Jared Ivey, and I'd be so happy. There's so many good players that are still available, and I'm just so excited. I hope you guys are excited too. This draft has been so fun. And again, for the 43 people that are in here, I appreciate you guys and love you so much. This has been the most I think I've had in a live stream, so I appreciate you guys so much. This is awesome. But, man, this has been a fun NFL draft so far. It really has. But with that being said, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys get some sleep. I love you guys so much and appreciate you guys so much for joining me and staying up late with me just to talk about the NFL draft and love hearing your opinions. Thank you guys so, so much. And again, I love you. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow if I get home at a reasonable time. And I love just talking with you guys. I want to try to do more live streams just to chat with you guys because you guys are so awesome. And I love all your opinions. And guys, thank you again. And JETS, 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 Jets. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. Get a good night's sleep, and let's go for day 3 of the draft tomorrow. Good night, guys.